Howdy friendos, my name is Stuart and welcome to another MCU video. These past few have been some of my most popular so far, although I am curious as to how Loki was my least popular one out of the MCU, like, how? Either way, this video is going to be focusing on Scott Lang, otherwise known as the second Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Scott Lang is an interesting character even within the context of the MCU movies, and that is because he already has a bit of a sordid past and has some history before even the movies begin. While most characters are not without depth or interest before their stories begin, Scott Lang begins his movie as an ex-convict, meaning he has a criminal record. However, in the canon prequel comic Scott Lang Small Time, Scott used to work for a company called VistaCorp, where he worked in a security department, where he then discovered that the company was somehow overcharging people illegally? The comic and the movie are both extremely vague on what this means, but either way, they were doing something incredibly shady and purposely stealing money from their customers. Scott Lang at first tried to report the activity to the whistleblower division, but then gets his reputation destroyed by the local newspaper. He then breaks into the building late at night and refunds the money that was stolen. But then he goes the extra mile and breaks into his boss's house, steals a bunch of stuff, and then wrecks his car. All of this landed him in jail, which lost him the goodwill that he would have earned. Scott was sentenced to a 5-year prison term, but then was let out early on good behavior. However, because the company that he stole from also controlled various media corporations, they made absolutely sure to libel and slander Scott's name all over the news in order to save their own skins in the court of public opinion. During this time in prison, his wife files for divorce, and he is eventually let out early on good behavior. After he gets out, he is treated like every single divorced father in America, and that is to say, he's treated like shit by everybody. Oh, and he's an ex-convict, which adds to the suckiness of his situation. In his quest to earn money, he learns that he can rob a filthy rich guy to make enough money to start a new life so that he can see his daughter again. Unfortunately for him, this is a setup from Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man. Because of Scott's Robin Hooded nature, we will start his alignment at chaotic good. However, since he also has this weird pride and a childish nature, we will lean him towards chaotic neutral quite a bit so that they're practically borderline. I have lots of thoughts on this weird convolution of this character setup, but we'll talk about that more in the post-analysis section. And with all that out of the way, let's go.
It's okay. You can't see me.
I can see you. Hi, I'm Scott.
Did he just say, hi, I'm Scott?
No. I actually refunded $4 million to customers VistaCorp was stealing from. I mean, or maybe a bit less than $4 million.
Gotta say, I love the MCU's take on modern journalism. Also, Scott Lang doesn't take the interview seriously and kinda makes himself look worse by losing his cool on live TV. Totally understandable, but he did mess up. Also, casual reminder that this lady slept with her source. Just saying. Chaotic neutral.
I miss you, Scott.
I miss you too, Peachy.
The movie technically starts with Scott doing a goodbye ritual that really doesn't do anything, but he does commit himself to going clean with his job at Baskin-Robbins. It's just unfortunate that they always find out. Oh, and I guess lying on your resume is chaotic neutral, but I'm not counting it because who hasn't lied on their resume? Oh, by the way, if anyone asks, I taught 3 semesters at Stanford University before I left. Shh, level neutral.
He's on the invitation.
He didn't get an invitation, but he came anyway.
Scott crashes his daughter's birthday when he obviously wasn't invited. You could say this is chaotic neutral, but considering how sincere Scott is and all we learn about him from the constant exposition dumps, I'm gonna say chaotic good.
You can't just show up here. You know that. Come on.
It's a birthday party.
Ooh, originally I had a lot of words to say about this scene because it originally made me very, very angry, but the interview with the Gonzo from earlier kind of explains how he was actually slandered by Miss CNN over there. It's somewhat excusable, but according to the comic, Maggie also knew about Scott's Robin Hooding, so it's kinda BS how she knows the truth but refuses to let him see his daughter when he clearly did the right thing. Whatever, I'm just gonna give it a nat 1 scene.
I just need to know where it came from. It's got to be airtight.
Okay. I was at a wine tasting with my cousin Ernesto.
Although, you gotta give credit to this movie for coming up with the best exposition dump style ever, nat 20 scene.
Damn.
Scott Lang Assassin's Creed's his way into Hank Pym's house to steal something in order to get enough money to see his stepdaughter. Why did I put stepdaughter there? I don't know, do something funny with this edit. Technically neutral evil, although the argument could be made that this is chaotic neutral or even chaotic good since he's doing it to see his daughter, especially since he can't get any legit work, although Hank Pym even calls him out and says he resorts to crime whenever things get tough, so neutral evil, I don't know. Scott tries the suit on to see what it was worth and gets caught up in shenanigans. Neutral.
Get down on the ground! You are under arrest! No, I didn't steal anything. I was returning something I stole.
He then impulsively returns the suit, chaotic neutral.
Second chances don't come around all that much. So next time you think you might see one, I suggest you take a real close look at it.
Scott gets pressured by Hank to escape prison. He's kinda acting on impulse now, and he's in way over his head, chaotic neutral.
My days of breaking into places and stealing shit are done. What do you want me to do?
I want you to break into a place and steal some shit.
Scott agrees to break into a place to steal some shit. You know, to save the world. He does this with a training montage, learning to control the ants, and, stealing from the Avengers. Chaotic good twice.
Hi, I'm Scott.
Did he just say hi, I'm Scott?
God damn it, Scott, you endearing son of a bitch.
For the coffee, man. It's not too often that you rob a place and they get welcome back. Because we just robbed you.
Scott also recruits his friends when they realize that Cross was onto them so that they can pull off a new heist plan. Chaotic good. Yeah, that's risky and unnecessary, although understandable. Chaotic neutral.
All right, let's fly, Anthony.
Okay, consolidating a lot of stuff. Team Antman break into the facility. Chaotic good. Hank gets shot and Scott's first instinct is to help them. Neutral good. He also fights an opponent that's way outside his weight class. Also neutral good. Sorry, I don't care about Anthony. Saving his daughter. Neutral good. And self-sacrifice. Neutral good.
Captain America.
Mr. Lang?
It's an honor. I'm shaking your hand too long. Wow, this is awesome. Captain America. I know you too. You're great.
As we learned at the end of Ant-Man, Scott has been trying to get into the Avengers, and the opportunity arises for him in Civil War, where he is again thrust into a situation way over his head. He helps out Captain America, only knowing that Cap is the goodest guy to ever good, so of course he supports him. This is actually a kind of sad chaotic good, since it kind of ruins his life later. Also, Paul Rudd is a Nat 20 scene here.
Daddy!
For the last 2 years, Scott has been under house arrest after a plea bargain and a bunch of legal loopholes. So far, Scott has been keeping his nose clean and doing everything he's been supposed to do. Let's give him 2 lawful neutral dings for 2 years of lawful neutral behavior.
Let's fly!
And 1 neutral good for being super extra with Cassie and with these thieving gangs. Also close-up magic, neutral good.
Next time I see you, will be on the outside.
Oh, get on the inside of this.
Character development, I guess. I'll take it.
Hey, Hank. It's been a while.
Scott has a quantum dream and then immediately calls Hank, thinking that it might help them. He risks a lot doing this, directly violating his parole while apologizing to him. I think the obvious answer would be chaotic good, but for some reason I keep landing on neutral good, because even though the law is being violated, I think Scott feels like it's his duty to alert Hank of any lead that he might have to his wife because of the guilt, and he just kind of feels it's the right thing to do. So I'm going to say neutral good.
Tell me you really destroyed it.
I did. I destroyed it, I swear.
I can't believe you destroyed my suit.
Also, consolidating a lot more because Ant-Man and the Wasp is kind of a filler movie. Scott helps Hope and Hank with Ghost. He helps them get the quantum MacGuffins, he's just being a good guy in general, and he also loses a lot of agency in this movie since he's mostly reacting, and he also gets possessed by Janet for a little bit. Honestly, Scott is just generally a good guy through most of this movie, so we're gonna give him 2 neutral good dings to cover our bases. And 1 chaotic neutral for covering his base with the FBI.
I want to help people. Like my dad. Really? I wanted to be his partner, but he said he wants you.
Cassie is like the best character in the movie? How the hell did I get a Nat 20 child actor going on?
You're so big. I can't stop thinking about it. What if we could somehow control the chaos and we could navigate it? What if there was a way that we could enter the quantum realm at a certain point in time, but then exit the quantum realm at another point in time? Like before Thanos.
After finding Cassie, Scott finds the Avengers and suggests the time heist. The first third of the movie is basically arranging it by contacting both Stark and Banner and running various experiments. Lawful good for following through, and then another lawful good for volunteering to be the lab rat.
Ridiculous.
I think you look great, Cap. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Also, Antman was a pretty big team player during the time heist, so lawful good.
What? We're drowning. Does anybody copy Mayday? Wait. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Antman was also the only one that showed up to help Hulk, Rhodey, and Rocket. I'm just gonna guess comms were down for everybody else? Neutral good?
What, you wanted more?
And as tradition, everyone gets a lawful good and a nat 20 scene for this.
Does anyone have any orange slices?
So Scott is an interesting character in the MCU. He's honestly one of the sadder characters because he has such little agency in pretty much any movie he's in. And the first Ant-Man movie, Hank Pym sets up this weird-ass Xanatos gambit that forces Scott into a desperate situation where he has to work for him. Also, fucking dick move on Hank Pym for setting him up with the Pym particles that fucked up his body. What is that? Also, in Civil War, Scott is kind of approached by the Avengers and thrown into a situation he has no clue what to do, but helps Captain America because he's Captain freaking America. In Ant-Man 2, Scott is either possessed or guilted into doing pretty much all of those actions in those movies. The dude is just an average guy shoved into a massively difficult situation, and I kind of feel bad for him as the legendary figures and literal gods move him around like a pawn on a chessboard, even though more often than not, he's the one coming up with the clever solutions to other people's problems, or the plot is literally fucking him harder than US Bank fucked my home mortgage. Scott's a good guy whose best moment and the most agency he ever had happened before the movies even began, and it's frankly both simultaneously sad and hilarious that he gets almost no respect in his own universe. But hey, who knows? Scott is kind of the everyman of the Avengers, and it's kind of nice to see what a normal guy would do on a superhero team. Granted, he's a normal guy with the body of Paul Rudd, and did you know this guy was 52? Really, the greatest heist that Ant-Man probably pulled off was the cup of water from the Fountain of Eternal Youth. But what did you guys think of this video? And what do you want me to do for the next MCU character? Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next time.